Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well today. I'm going to talk about uh, divination cards. And I get a lot of questions with what deck is good to start with. And I'm going to talk about that, and I'm also going to talk about the differences. Because when you ask me a question, which cards do I prefer? Well, there's different sorts. There's tarot, there's oracle, and there's also cardamancy decks. So, simply put, I have different ones for different categories. So, without further ado, let's get on to it. So, what tarot decks? Let's talk about tarot decks. Reading tarot decks is everywhere nowadays. You can find a reader everywhere. It's just really saturated. And I have been reading cards for about 15 years. I've been on my path for over 20. I got my first tarot deck when I was about 17 years old. And I just kind of played around with it then. And, well, I wasn't quite serious with it then. I had babies, different things happened. So, I did pick it back up eventually, and I'm going to give you some advice that I wish that someone else had given me. Now, for tarot cards, the first deck I ever got was a Rider deck. And I'm just going to pull these over here out of the way. I've got several out here that I'm going to be very happy to share with you. And I'm just going to explain to you a little bit of the difference and whatnot. So this is the Rider deck. This is a perfect deck to begin reading. To me, it's simple. They're very self-explanatory. And I know you're kind of looking at these sideways, but there you go. And, I do like them. They're very, some people do not like them because they look too much like, some say, well, they look too much like Catholicism and Christianity. But you have to understand, when these were created, they were using a lot of different symbology and different methods in here. There's color. There's also the Kabbalah is in here. Different meanings. So it can look a different, just a little difficult for some people, but I didn't think so. And, this is the High Priestess, and she stands in the middle of light and dark. So this says a lot here. Yes, she does. She is wearing a cross, but we have to understand that cross was used long before Christianity, long before. And then there's your traditional three of swords, three of hearts. Imagine that. So, they're beautiful, and they mean so much, and I do like these overall. I do feel like this is a good deck to start with. Now, if you're not feeling this deck, I completely understand, because we all have our own preferences. We all, connect differently to the energy of the card. So, I completely get that. I myself have, bought tarot decks that I just didn't feel that good. I was actually trying to find one of them, but I can't. Another deck that I do like, a tarot deck that is really good for beginners, is the Witch's Tarot, and I do not have the box for this. Let's see here. I do have the book, though. Let me get... Here is the book for that. This is the Witch's Tarot. This is by Ellen Dugan. You can see, I'm sorry about that light. There we go. That's the book for it. And it's a thick book. It's, it's really good. And it can help you if you're brand new. It can help you, read the cards and feel them. But, really, when you're doing tarot, you really want to listen to your intuition on this. you know, here, like for example, this is the wheel of the year, and you see there's every single season there. So yeah, you're going to think, okay, well, this has to deal with cycles. So, you know, this is the four building blocks of our world, right? So you can see how this deck would be really good for a beginner. This is the Queen of Cups, and she's got her foot on the stone, but she's looking into that cup. And this is the King of Wands. Wonderful King of Wands. Look at that face. That is a typical one. But as you can see here, these cards are beautiful as well. And I can do a review on cards. I know I've had some questions about the different cards and the energies of them and things like that. This is my well-loved deck. When you can ask the people that have received a reading from me, this is the deck that I normally use. Sometimes I do carry several with me when I'm doing readings, and, you know, I will let you pick. Sometimes I do actually mix the cards up, like I'll do tarot, and I'll do the Moonology deck, and then I'll do like a regular oracle. I do mix them up because they have different messages. It's just really what I'm feeling at that time, or the reading that they are wanting. And now here is the High Priestess and this card. Do you see the difference here? And I really, really love this because you see the moon at her feet, right? And she's sitting on that dark part of the moon. And one of the very common definitions of this card is that there's something that's hidden. And when it becomes that full moon, you know, by the time it's the next full moon, there's whatever is hidden will come into light. But this is saying that there's something that's been hidden that you need to, you know, investigate further. You need to wait sometimes. But like I said, it depends on the other cards around it. And that's the Page of Wands. That is an excellent card for the Page of Wands. So, I mean, as you can see, well, there's the Three of Swords. See the difference there? And there's two fairies and one. So two is hanging out and one's flying off. That really goes back to one of the older definitions of when you have the Three of Swords, because usually there's always a loser. There's three people and there's always a loser. So there's a sacrifice that needs to be made. So that's it's a very self-explanatory card. And this is Karma. I really like that card. There's Strength. This is the Three of Pentacles. I do like this writing on here. It's easy to read. You don't get confused sometimes when you glance at it. And, you know, many times when you do glance at a card, it's good to go ahead and feel that energy anyway, because you're getting that for a reason, right? And there's the Lovers and so forth. So there's the Five of Wands there, if you can see that. So that is the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. It's really good. And I will enclose links for those decks for you. Okay, now I do have another favorite, and I want to share this with you. This is the Santa Morte deck. And I know that you've seen me read from this. This is, you know, I really love this deck. And I'm going to try to hurry up through here. I don't want to keep y'all all day on here. This is a great deck as well. Now, there is a difference because, like I said, there is Cardamancy as well. Cardamancy is a 22 card deck, and it's a picture deck. And this is one, and if you will, if you're going to take my reading class, my divination class, you will find out more in depth of these. But this is Cardamancy. This is a picture deck. That's the man and the woman. And this is the birds. And this is the snake. And if you'll see, it has the correspondence to regular playing cards. So that's those cards. And this is Cardamancy deck. And this is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck. And this is one of my favorite decks in Cardamancy. I love the Lenormand. And you'll find out that name. And if you've done any kind of research at all in cards, you have probably heard of the Lenormand name. And again, you'll find out more about that in my class if you take that. Now, we also have oracle cards. Oracle cards are what give messages. Now, this is the Moonology deck. And what I mean by that, I know that was kind of confusing. This is usually with the oracle cards, usually have the definition or the meaning of this card on the card. That makes sense. You see how this says, look at the bigger picture. So it's not like one of these cards wherein you have to numerology and you'll have to understand what pentacles mean and, you know, all of that. This, it already gives you the message. So that's particularly the difference between tarot and oracle cards is they have that. Now, you've also seen me with the Messenger Oracle. And this deck is by Raven Phelan. And this is mostly animals. I like this deck. I really do. It feels good. I love that. This deck really does feel good. It's easy to read. Again, it's Oracle deck. Reveal your truth. You know, take the mask off. And then you have See the Truth, the owl that can see through the night and hunts at the night. And then you have Let the Emotions Flow. This is about clearing out. And it says, you were born to create. So this is the difference between tarot, cardamancy, and oracle cards. So what do I think is best for someone starting out? It depends. If you have never read cards before, I would suggest to start out with oracle cards. Those are easy to kind of slide into, and they give you the messages on the card. So it's kind of simple. You're getting used to picking up on these energies here. You get used to reading the card. Some people don't want to do that. That's fine. But like I said, my suggestions would be the tarot, the Rider Tarot. I like that. The Witch's Tarot is a real easy one. It's real easy to read. I do love this deck. It is one that I do a lot of readings for. Or with, I should say. People really respond well to it, and it reads really clear. That's the book of it. That's also on the packaging as well. So you'll know it's by Ellen Dugan. Up there at the top, if you can see. Oh my goodness, there you go. So, you know, it is a really, really good card. And also Santa Morte, of course, we are in October. This is a really deck, to me, this deck is really easy to read. I just adore this deck. I love the energy from it. It's just, it speaks to me and I don't know, a certain language. I don't know. It's really nice. Whether it be, I love the artwork. I love the feel. The only thing that I have complained about is that it does have some little writing on it. For those of you that have that problem, you know. But yes, so that is my pick. For tarot, number 1, I would say the Rider Tarot. Number 2, the Witch's Tarot. Number 3, I would go with Santa Morte, but that's okay if you do not. There are other decks out there. I always say try to stick. If you want to read tarot, try to stick to a deck that has the original work on it, that has the original way that it's supposed to be out, such as the Wheel, such as the Hermit, things like that. It's based on the traditional type foundation. Oracle cards are wonderful. That's the difference that I told you. They have the message on them. The moon cards are great. They help you as well. If you are If you're wanting to learn and how to work with the moon, I would urge you to get these cards. They're very, I like them. This is what they come in. It's very tight. The cards are nice and thick. I really like that. They feel good. So this helps you. Full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. Okay, that's giving you an idea of what Sagittarius is. And then you have communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Gemini, this planet's Mercury. So this is very much about communication, very much about airing out your thoughts and your ideas. So you're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon. That's wonderful because you see it's almost full. It's waxing, so it's getting full. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried not to go too long on this. I didn't want to bore you to death forever. I will be having a class on tarot. We will go step by step through reading the tarot, and I will walk with you on the Fool's Path through the 22 major arcana cards, and then we'll go into the minor ones. And you know, life is about the Fool's journey. It's about taking that leap of faith and having that human experience. So I do hope that you do attend, and I will post about all of the details and that in a different video. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to send me a message. I'll be more than happy to help you. You have a wonderful day. Many blessings to you all.